What is going on, everyone? My name is Chris Chan, and today we're going to talk about the greatest care crisis that I don't even think we really understand just how big of a problem we are facing. And we talk a lot about how to solve it, but I've yet to see a lot of people actually doing anything about it. And so today we're going to be talking about what is this great care crisis? What does it look like? What does it mean for the future of our seniors and for the future of healthcare and for the future of these family caregivers that are going to be caring for their spouse or someone that they love? First, before we dive into this, okay, do me a favor, show me some love. Honestly, when you like and you comment and you subscribe and you do all that stuff, it makes me want to make more content. And if you like this content, just do one of them or do all three of them. Really make my day. Because I know I was talking to Jay earlier, I was a little bummed out about something. So if you like, comment, subscribe right now, I'll be really, really happy, right? Anyways, guys, so the reality of it is that, you know, we are facing, and I know you all know this, okay, but I don't think you understand the problem that we're about to have. But the reality of it is like everyone's talked about, we are facing one of the kind of like the biggest changes in the history of our senior care and our healthcare system, right? And so obviously from basically 2019 to 2040, we're gonna have this massive increase from about 48 million to about 82 million people over the age of 65 years old. The baby boomer generation, like just as of last year, just started turning 75 for the first time. The baby boomer generation is just now turning 75, like just last year. That was the first time it turned 75. And what's significant about that is that as people start to, turn in age into like that 75 to 85 year range, this is when they start encountering maybe that early onset of dementia or Alzheimer's, maybe some of those physical limitations that are, causing them to be a little bit more dependent on their loved ones, their spouses, maybe a knee surgery or hip surgery or some other thing or a stroke that's causing them to be a little bit more dependent to need or potentially need care at some point in the future. So from basically age 75 to age 95 is somewhere in that range is when someone's gonna need care. I think the average age of someone living in an assisted living facility is around 85 years old. So it kind of gives you an idea that really this is the beginning stages of the largest generation in history that is going to need care. And they're just now entering it because they're 57 to 75 years old right now. Okay? So here's I know this is like the worst representation. I don't even know what this is. Okay? All I was trying to do was create, and we should probably show a picture instead of this, but all I was trying to do was create the illustration of a snake eating a mouse. And I don't know if you've ever seen this happen before, but when a snake eats a mouse, you see this big bulge in the snake as the snake is passing, or as the mouse is passing through the snake's digestive tract, right? And that bulge is the baby boomer generation, okay? And my point is it's gonna come on slowly, but then it's gonna happen so fast that if the infrastructure is not put in place to accommodate the needs of our seniors, there's going to be crises like we've never faced before. And I don't even know what these crises are gonna look like. I'm actually scared to even imagine just how detrimental this is gonna be to our system. And the reason why is because of this. Like, we just talked about the big great resignation of people leaving the workforce, and a lot of that has been conversations around caregivers and CNAs and home health aides leaving the workforce, and without them there would be no one to take care of our seniors. But what happens when the leadership structure that's doing everything that they possibly can to hold it all together, what happens when they retire? Because the reality of it is if someone needs care, there is not going to be an app to solve the care crisis. I'm not talking about an app to make things more efficient or to help out or to reduce the headcount, but there is still going to be a need for the next 10 plus years of someone that is physically gonna have to go in and help Mrs. Smith and physically help get her ready for the day, help him or her, use the restroom and take a shower and do their activities of daily living. There is no robot, there is no development in AI that's advanced enough to accommodate the needs of someone who suffers from dementia. And so the reality of it is that you have, and I pulled these stats really on the nursing home administrators because they were more readily available, but in the nursing home field, the average age of somebody that's in a nursing home administrator is 47 years old. And the reality of it is that 73% of nursing home administrators are over the age of 40. So what happens is they go into retirement, or as they decide that they're looking for a career change because they've been working in healthcare, they've been working in the nursing home field for 10, 20, 30 years, and they're burned out. There's like, look at this. Like, people in their 20s and 30s aren't even thinking about this field. Only 3% of the entire nursing home administrators out there are actually, like in that field. Like, so who is coming up? Who is the rising generation of millennials ages 20 to 40 years old that's going to come and fill the massive gap that is right here, which is, I mean, what happens when those people retire or leave? Or part of this like resignation, what happens when they leave? The glue that's holding it together with the care teams, okay? The people that are leading these care organizations, who is going to fill those voids? Because I know when I went to school, no one in college was like, hey, guess what? When you graduate, you could go and you could be a gerontologist. You could work in the geriatric care industry. No one made that job or made that career sexy and exciting. And like, there was no path for me to like even explore that as an option. And the reality of it is that, my generation and many of the generations around my time all got kind of sucked into go build a software, go build an app, be like the unicorns of Silicon Valley. And so we kind of got stuck into this like, this era where we for the first time had a more robust internet, and we were able to create these, incredible software platforms, and we were part of that generation. That was what was sexy and exciting, and that's what people wanted to do, and go work on Wall Street or go work for these, these big firms, these big exciting adventurous type things. But no one was like creating this environment that was attracting us to the senior care field. I fell into it by accident, and never once have I come across a bunch of like senior care providers that I'm like, those guys are really cool. Like, lately you can see some people trying to make this shift, but the reality of it is that it's a field that has doesn't have the kind of the sexiness to it, the excitement to it, like other industries such as financial planning or real estate or things like that, that just for whatever reason they are more attractive. So we have to do a better job at attracting younger people at a younger age to get interested in leading the care organizations of our seniors into the future, because we are going to have a massive problem. If you simply look at this picture here, we have an increasing number of people, like double, okay? Like double the number of people that we currently have today are going to be in need of care. Double. Did you hear me? Double, okay? Like, we don't even, like look at the people coming up in the system here. It's like only 30% of the people of all of the nursing home administrators are actually like under the age of 40, okay? Everyone's older than that. What is going to happen? You tell me, because this to me looks catastrophic, okay? If we don't find a way to inspire the younger generation and get them interested in this field and help show them how to make an impact. And I can assure you that one of the greatest, probably my biggest fear is the fact that to this day, and it's why we don't even participate in that world, is that the Medicaid reimbursement rates are so incredibly low that it's hard as a company to even break even. So you end up taking on this massive liability and risk far greater than anything else, and just stressful hours in a stressful work environment. And a lot of these nursing homes, they don't even make any money. It's almost like a tax write-off for the ultra rich. Like, if you want a big tax write-off every year, go buy a nursing home, okay? You'll have the greatest losses to write off all of your Uncle Sam money. So I'm just kidding. But the reality of it is that obviously new models are gonna have to take place. This is why I'm such an advocate of adult daycare. I truly believe adult daycare is gonna be one of the greatest ways that we solve this problem, because we'll be able to help more people. Because the other problem we're gonna face is a lack of caregivers, right? So we're gonna have a caregiving shortage crisis. So home care will not be able to staff the needs that exist in the communities that are out there where seniors need care. So home care won't be able to staff those needs properly. And so adult daycare will be it's one of the few ways that you can affordably take care of a lot more people with just one person. And so you are able to bring the cost of care down. You're giving people a sense of purpose again. You're helping like family caregivers who are caring for their loved ones actually like take care of their loved one longer, which is going to put less pressure on the healthcare system, because the more that you can like ensure that a family caregiver is taking care of their mom, their dad, their spouse, or a loved one, the less pressure you're going to put onto the nursing homes and the assisted living facilities, who are going to like, you know, obviously be bogged down or may not even be around. Like, our nursing homes are even going to be around in 5, 10, 15 years, because if there's no one there to run them, then there may be no need for a nursing home, because there's no one to run the dang thing, you know? So the reality of it is that adult daycare really is going to solve a lot of these problems, but it's obviously going to rely heavily on us inspiring the next generation of senior care entrepreneurs, senior care leaders, senior care like champions, to go out there and to cheerlead this field from an early age, to help people find their interest in this sector, because it needs more people than you could even imagine. And the problem is if we approach this 10 years from now, it's too late. By 2030, it's too late. The problem is already here. We need to start doing this now, because this is like the calm before the storm. This is like if you live in Florida and they talk about hurricanes. When the hurricane's coming, we're all sitting here in anticipation. We're like, you know, boarded up the house, and we're waiting, and you know, all of a sudden it gets a little cooler out, and the temps drop, and you get like a nice steady wind, you know, and it's just nice and calm, and everyone's and the roads are clear, and then whoosh, it comes through and it wipes out everything. Okay? So the reality of it is we have a window of opportunity now to make a difference, to make an impact, to make change. This is the time to inspire the next generation, and we cannot wait until tomorrow. We have to start today. And I'm telling you, adult daycare will be one of the fastest growing and the most needed services in senior care, period, over the next 20 years. You can get on that train today, adcpro.com, learn more how to open up your very own adult daycare center, or just to plug into our community. We got monthly Facebook groups. We have all sorts of content on YouTube right here, so feel free to go through all of that. If you're interested in learning more about our franchise model that we have, happy to sit down and talk to you in more detail about that as well. But guys, just know that this is coming, and this is a massive crisis, and we have to work together to make change, to inspire the next generation. Thank you guys so much for joining me. I gotta get back to work. We'll see you on the next one. Hey guys, thank you so much for joining me. If you'd like to learn how to open your own adult daycare center, go to adcpro.com. If you'd like the latest business tips, click here, and make sure you subscribe to our channel. Click here. We'll see you guys next time.